right, good afternoon. It is self-care Saturday. Already did the gym. Now I'm going to the massage. Can't get my hair done today because my lactician's birthday is today, so here's what it is. So I'm listening to Ed's latest stream, his Friday Night Light stream, and I'm at the part where AM1 is just going off about the space and what he doesn't like. And you know, this is something that I've been through as well, but I want to just make it clear. AM1, because I'm going to tag you in the video. Get over it, dude. Like, the space is not what you want it to be. It never will be. You can carve out your own little bit of space and do your own thing. It's okay. Nobody has to do what you want them to do all the time. And the fact that you couldn't even put a number or percentage on it doesn't invalidate your argument, but shows you that even with your argument, or shows me at least, even with your argument, that you don't even have an actual number. It's more like a feeling. Like you're seeing this too much, and the algorithm may be just feeding too much of this to you, and you need to get off. You need to take a break. You need to go somewhere else. And if you feel like I'm telling you what you should do, now I sound like you. Because you're saying men should self-improve, they should do this, they should do X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. Why don't you just go ahead and do that? Like, just go ahead and make your channel, make your content, and do it how you would like it to be. Or, you know, do it in the form that you would like it to be. And those people that like what you're saying, resonate with what you're saying, will come to you, will talk to you, will say more and more things to you, and you'll actually have your own following. Now, I've heard this in the past in so many different ways from so many different people, and it's the usual shit that black people don't want to do better, black men don't want to do better, you guys need to hurry up, you need to get this shit together, why are you crying, and all this other shit, right? And it's the same thing over and over again. And I've even told Ed this in the past. This is an emotional space. This space is very emotional. This space is about, like, at the core of this space, this is gender dynamics, right? This is relationships. So you're always going to hear more and more and more of that over everything else. This is not a space. This is not a self-improvement space. This is not a space where you're going to go from 0 to 100 or $100, what's it called? 5 figures to 6 figures and all this other stuff. Now, some of that stuff is in here, and there's some people that want more men to do that. But if they don't, then they don't. And Ed has said it multiple times. You're talking about an audience issue. Like, get over it. Like, if they don't want to do it, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to start bitching and moaning and crying? Because a couple times, I could hear the way you talk about it. Talk about this space. Oh, you guys are just whining. Like, and your voice changes when you're talking about the space because you're being condescending. You need to get the fuck out of here if you don't want to fucking be a part of it. If you don't like that content, it's okay. But then to talk about it every 2 seconds and then belabor the point. Like, I understand. I feel a lot of men should really be in tech. I'm the guy that Ed talks about making $500,000. Sadly, I lost one of my jobs, so I'm going to make $392. I make less. So I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. I want brothers to actually make a lot more, but they don't. They don't want to do it. They don't want to get into tech. Now you have, of course, white people there, and then a lot of Indian people. All right? Or people from India and things like that. So I understand. I would like more brothers to be in those meetings and my daily scrums and everything else like that, and talking about code and going back and forth. You know, the one brother that is actually at my job, you know, we talk outside of the job. You know, send me pictures, and, you know, we go over a couple things, and he's done 1 or 2 things in this space in a sense. And I tell him, hey, listen, don't get too consumed by this space, because emotionally speaking, a lot of things can actually happen here. So, you know, be careful of that, because you can actually lose yourself in it. But what happens is so many people come to this space and they're like, you guys need to, this is your solution. Well, if that was the solution, then, you know, certain people wouldn't work at McDonald's, certain people wouldn't work here or there or whatever, right? There's certain services that you would not be able to enjoy because other people have, because people have an affinity for something different. And honestly, what you go back and forth and complain about is just people's affinity for different things. And then just going back to the core thing of this space is an emotional space. This space is group therapy. If you go back to one of the fathers of Ibmore and the black side of MGTOW is Black Ram 313, and he always says, back with another video, because this is therapeutic, man. Like, you know, Black Ram would always say things like this and understand that, hey, what he's actually doing is venting and getting his voice out there. And by him doing that, that has actually helped him move on in his life. Because for some men, they actually need this. And for you to, you know, talk down on it, poo-poo it, and say, you guys are always complaining, there's new people in this space all the time. This is probably one of the biggest issues that men have. You have men, black men, white men, men of all different types and colors, especially if you look at the general manosphere, that their same problem is this. They have issues with modern women. These guys are sometimes these are guys that actually have, you know, high six figures, mid to high six figures, and even getting into seven figures in terms of their net worth and everything else. And they still have this problem. So what does that tell you? This is a bigger problem than self-improve and making yourself the best man or the best image or vision that you can be. This is bigger than that. And this is a societal issue that we're all talking about and starting to break down and starting to do things to actually improve. And there are improvements being made. But a lot of people expect these things to actually happen quicker than is possible. You're really trying, and BGS says it all the time, is like a lot of people are trying to turn a super tanker on a dime. You're just not going to do that. It will destroy the super tanker. It will cause it to split in two by doing that with that much weight, that much force to actually make that turn happen. It will split it. It's going to take time. And it's going to take even brothers like you to do what you do and stub off and do your own thing. If you want to be in the space, then be in the space. I'm not saying to critique anybody, but to just keep on going and going and going and going and going and going and just not fucking, like, yo, at that point, just be Jason Black. Just talk bad about the space, do your own thing, say you have another vision, so on and so forth, and how you want to actually have the black community look and so on and so forth. All right, cool. Go ahead and do that. You're good. You know, like you will have people that will listen to you. You will have people that will donate to you, subscribe to you, actually supplement what your actual vision, or add to your vision, I should say, and do the things that are necessary to make your vision, to spread your word. But to, like, you know, I'm just going off about, like, again, this is the stuff that you talked about being triggered. This triggers me when people come in this space, try to change it without understanding it, without having some type of compassion or empathy for the men that are in here. And then I'm not talking about that compassion or empathy where you're just being tough, like you're being that tough father figure or what have you. Like, it's just not going to work for everybody. And it's definitely not going to work for the men in this space. These men will go after you and talk all types of shit and do other things to undermine your vision overall. And you'll sit there like, I tried, but these niggas got at me. I tried, but these niggas are against me and all this other shit. And it's just like, yeah, you tried, but you did it in an antagonistic way. And you can't expect that you're going to get, you know, ooh, that's nice. You can't expect that you're going to get the same type of response from these men by coming at them and saying, y'all need to stop crying. Like, dude, these are grown-ass men. Like, some men will be like, yeah, you're right, we do need to stop crying. And some other men will be like, listen, nigga, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, yo, check your fucking self at the door. So it's very annoying to hear this because we've had so many brothers do the same thing over and over and over again. My message is better. We need to be getting on this, so on and so forth. And they fall to the wayside every single time. This is what Ed has talked about. This is what Ed even talked about to Keep It 100 recently. Where Keep It 100 is going off about Dennis Sperling and some of the stuff he says about, like, you know, alpha is this, alpha is that. And what Keep It 100 doesn't understand is there's so many people that have done that, have tried to, oh man, that guy's going to get hit. There's so many people that have done that and tried to say what's it called? Try to come in here with their agenda and what they believe should be right and going after one person for one reason or another, and they fall to the wayside every time. It's just like, you know, you go into prison, it's like you got to find that one nigga to stab or some shit like that, and then they'll prove who you are or something like that, or you have to have that one beef with that one person. And it's just like, no, that doesn't really work in this space, man. It doesn't. Like, you can, like, all it does is it causes more and more fractures. And then that dude almost this causes more and more fractures within the space itself. And then next thing you know, it's just like, listen, I'm not Manosphere. But then you start talking Manosphere points. And it's just like, this is what we've seen in other places, mediocre tutorials and reviews and stuff like that. Instead of just standing on and say, yo, I'm Manosphere to the death of me. Even if you don't want to say that, it's like, listen, you know, I don't agree with everything, but hey, this is my take on it. I'm a part of the collective, and not because I'm like, you know, because I need to be under one flag or one banner, but because no matter what, we're going to be seen as this, right? Or you can just say, hey, listen, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a part of this. I think you guys are fucking crybabies. All right, cool. Go off and do your own thing, man. It's just like, it's like going to like, being a Republican, going to the Democratic National Convention and then saying, you guys are always crying. There's so much SJW woke shit going on, so on and so forth. You think the Democrats are going to fucking change like that? Like, you think they're just going to come out and say, you know what? This guy's got a point. I think I should change my ways. I don't need to be this way, and I can't believe I never saw the light or the error in my ways. You know what? I'm gonna start voting Republican. Like, that's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen like that. You might sway one or two people. They'll vote Democrat, they'll vote Republican on one or two issues, but you're not gonna turn them into full-fledged, you know, whatever. It just doesn't really happen like that. Like Daytona. Damn, I went to Daytona to get that. So, I don't know, brother. I'm about to go get my massage. But, bro, just get over it, man. Move on. This is not the space for you. These are not the brothers that you want to be a part of your fold. And I'll leave it at this. You know, one thing that I've even talked to Ed about, Ed and I were talking. He was saying something about possibly, you know, he's like, hey, man, I see you're close to 1,000. Let's get you up over. And I said, bro, don't worry about it. You know, because I always have a mantra of, if you focus on the numbers, you lose focus. Focus on your content. Focus on your agenda. Focus on what you want to actually do. And it will grow slowly, and those people will actually get with you. I talk about, you know, what I do in terms of, you know, work and what I do to make money in terms of like having side contracts and all types of other stuff and making money in different areas in different ways. And I don't expect everybody to get on that. I talk about what I do in tech. Not everybody's going to take that risk. One or two people have called me for mentor sessions, and they want to actually do better. They want to make more money. They want to get out of maybe whatever dead-end job that they're in, or they want to actually just break into the industry, and they're like, man, how do I do it? What's my first step in? They're just trying to get that first job, right? So when it comes to something like that, you know, I help those people. And those people, I try to build a network within this space. Ed will tell you, like, I left the Telegram group because I felt I was putting way too much energy into this space. Yeah, Ed will definitely tell you this, but like, you know, or would definitely confirm this, I should say. But you know, I left the Telegram group, and I left a Telegram group, a WhatsApp group, and like, or two WhatsApp groups, and I think the dating app. Yeah, Plenty of Fish, right? I got off all of that because I saw that I was putting so much energy on a day-to-day basis in these things, and I wasn't where I wanted to be. And that was over a year ago now. That was like, I think in November or something like that. And I looked around after having a conversation back and forth with Ed, and I said to myself, this doesn't make sense what I'm doing. I'm putting way too much energy into this. And then at the end of it, I'm agreeing with the person that I'm talking with. That, you know, we're just going back passionately, right? And it's just like, I'm agreeing with this guy. We're saying it from different perspectives, but we're saying the same thing. We want men to do better. We want men to be better. We want men to be in a different situation. And the thing is, it's going to take time. And it may not be the way we want it or the way we see it should be done, but it will happen one way or another for those that actually want it. There's a lot of people that talk about it, and there's a lot of people, and there's far less people, I should say, that actually do it. So don't focus on the numbers, man. Just do your content, make your own little enclave, your own little group, your own little bubble, so on and so forth, and then work with those people from there. As I said, I got out of that. I was making $75K, and now I'm making I make a multiples greater than that. You know, like 4 times more than that. Yeah, like 4 times more than that. Yeah, more than 4 times. Damn, really 5 times. Yeah, 5 times more than what I was making before. And that was just because I said, you know what? I'm putting way too much into this. I'm losing sight of my own vision because I'm like getting caught up in all these different circles. and it's not doing anything for me. I'm not getting the reward that maybe other people are getting out of what the content that I'm making, for those that do actually listen to my content, because it ain't much. And the ones that do listen, those are the ones I care about. Those are the ones that I say, I love you all, wish you all the best, I hope everything's good with you. Those people are the ones that I care about. Everybody else, the masses, the majority, the large swaths or whatever, the large percentages, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't give a flying fuck about those people. Why? Because they really don't want they don't want to do what I'm talking about. They don't want to do the things that they don't understand what I'm saying in some cases, or they do understand what I'm saying, but they are not executing. I want people that execute. I want people that do more. All right. With that being said, love you all. AM1. Move on, brother. Let it the fuck go. It's okay. Peace.